This is an SM Media production.
Hi folks, and welcome to the latest episode of the SM Media Pro Wrestling Show. I'm Scott Pike. It's a pleasure as always to be your host, and it's always a pleasure to be joined by the one and only Scott Young. Scott, we're nearly at WrestleMania season, but we're going to have a wee WrestleMania spin on this week's podcast. A pleasure, mate. Thank you.
No, mate, I think this build. I think we'll get into it, but the build for Mania this year's, I think, been phenomenal.
Yeah,
I think if you look at all the matches have got a story, and they've all built well on telly. Some of them better than others, but I think generally definitely better than last year's, especially in the women's side of things.
there's no match like I'm not intrigued by. Like, I'm not looking forward to how it's going to shape up. And I think it might be controversial here, but I wouldn't change much. The only thing I said to you off air, I still want to see like Tiffany get a match at some point. Like,
yeah,
I'm honest about that. I think she's brilliant. I think she's been superb since she's moved up to the main roster. I don't know what they're doing. Jade's obviously not ready. I think we can make that clear. I think they obviously know she's not ready, and fair enough. But Tiffany Bianca could have been set up in the chamber.
I think I said this to you over text. I think I said this to you over text, but I think the original plan. I think what we're looking at now is Bianca and Naomi versus Kabuki Warriors for the
Possibly,
tag
yeah.
titles.
Yeah, possibly.
And I think that was a certain Sasha Banks who's meant to be in that match.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe Sasha and Naomi going for the titles that they never lost.
Yeah.
But obviously Sasha is now Mercedes in AEW.
And ended up in interviews with Tony Khan where she couldn't look more awkward if she tried. Like, that's just a bad situation. Just isn't. So I thought her debut was fine, but I mean the numbers aren't there. And I know ratings are kind of not null and void. I don't think ratings are that big an issue.
No.
But
YouTube views are good.
YouTube views are good.
Is it hit over 1 million views?
Yeah, but is there a buzz about AEW like we thought there would be? Like,
I was thinking about this. You know the way that, I don't like the fact that we always come an AEW bashing show, but I think I was thinking about this. AEW have signed Okada, Osprey, and Mercedes this year, which is phenomenal.
yeah, it's good.
I would say the top three, two of the best men wrestlers in the world and the best female wrestler, one of the best females in the world. They've got all of them. But if you look at WWE, if you look at this Mania card, a lot of them have been products of WWE. Like the Usos, for example. Rhea Ripley, Logan Paul, people like that. Roman Reigns, obviously the main one. Obviously got The Rock.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that. I think that deserves 20 minutes in itself.
Even to a lesser extent, Cody Rhodes. Obviously, he started WWE, Dusty's son, blah, blah, blah. We know he's Dusty's son. He tells us every day. But he left, done his thing and come back. But he's still a WWE person. Drew McIntyre, kind of the same boat as Cody Rhodes. A lot of these people are WWE, and they're making up majority of what looks to be a phenomenal WrestleMania card.
Yeah. And it's not even the fact that it's that as well. It's the fact that every single match is WrestleMania worthy. Like, they've been so well, as we say, so well built, so well planned as well. Like Usos, that's been built for a while. LA Knight and Styles is probably the one you're thinking, right, should that be in a WrestleMania? Yeah, it should. Do you know what I mean?
Like, power of the two of them.
Yeah.
LA Knight's best. LA Knight's one of the best talkers of the last 5-10 years.
That is a match you could do in a SmackDown. That is a match you could do in a SmackDown, though. But it's also good enough to be a WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
middle of the card night too.
Yeah, and it was probably one of those that will be totally fine. I noticed that they seem to be very, very, very keen to hold back what matches are going in certain nights. I think that's because they're dominating what is going to be. We know what's going to be main event of both nights. I think they'll be I don't think we'll know anything until the week before what's going to be on what night, and I think that I'm happy with that.
Done that last year. They put, I think it was a few days before, they posted a look at the both nights.
Mm-hmm.
They announced it was TDC and kicking off night one,
Yeah,
and after that, and then obviously I think Roman Cody was always going to main event night two. Obviously, we'll do the same this year.
mm-hmm.
But no, I'm looking forward to Mania this year.
Right.
Definitely.
Let's get into probably the big build. We've seen a Rock concert. We're going to see Roman and Cody doing a face off this week with no Rock, which I think is the right call. I think the Rock this week. I mean the line that killed me at that Rock concert. See when he was talking about the belt with Cody's mum, and
Yeah, with the blood on it.
he then used the wee Moana line at the end. I just thought that was excellent, and
Yeah.
it's very, very hard in 2024 to think that we're booing The Rock and The Rock's the biggest heel in the company, but he's been perfect. And let's be honest, it's needed it. I don't think I think it would be a fairly ordinary main event build. It's now just a perfect build. It's just been so well done. And what had the potential to be a toxic situation is now just running so well.
Yeah. I mean, I put an article out on the website about Triple H's creative range since the middle of the year. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But no, I spoke in that about about the fact he can change things on the spin. And sometimes I think what Triple H does well is he knows he sees fan reactions, but he knows what to go with and what not. Last year, everyone was saying Sami Zayn's the guy.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn should beat Roman. But Triple H went, no, we're doing Sami Roman at Chamber. We're doing a tag match. We got Roman Cody. And at the time, I remember sitting at the Rumble thinking, why? I don't get Cody. But obviously Triple H knows more wrestling than me.
Yeah.
And we got two phenomenal main events.
Yep.
One of them had the wrong result, but hopefully that gets fixed this year. And I think what he's done, making The Rock heel with the theme music, the entrance, with the lightning, it looks, the presentation's been phenomenal. Obviously, The Rock will probably have a say in this, but anything that goes on telly, Triple H gets final say.
Yeah. And the only
And I
thing
think-
that's disappointing me is I think Seth is kind of I'm not going to say he's the kind of fourth wheel, but
I think he is a fourth wheel. I think there's two other people who could have in this match. One of them you definitely could, one of them you probably can't. I think Jay would fit better in this role. Jay and Cody, the Rock and Roman probably fit better. Sadly, I also think CM Punk would
I
fit
think
better
it
in
would have.
this.
I think it would have been Punk. If everybody was healthy, it would have been Punk.
Aye. Because Punk's got a history with Roman with Paul. Obviously, history rise. Punk didn't want It was Punk's idea for the Shield, but he didn't want Roman.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted Cassius Ohno
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
or Chris Hero. That's who Punk wanted. So you could have brought that up. Say Punk was a Paul Heyman guy. Punk and The Rock have got their thing from 12 years ago. Jeez, it was 12 years ago. But I do think Seth is the fourth wheel. But I mean, he's doing okay, Seth. See when Seth cuts the crap. See when Seth becomes Seth Rollins, not Seth freaking Rollins. Crap. Get rid of the outfits. Get rid of your laugh. Get rid of the thought. Get rid of the song. Get rid of the lot. Just be a normal person.
I mean,
it's phenomenal.
It's been overused, but the clown, the walking clown emoji thing is not an unfair.
No, it's
thing.
not inaccurate.
It's not, and that's the thing. Like my worry with The Rock is always like he comes up with these ridiculous like crybaby Cody and things like that, and the Diary of Dwayne stuff. Just get rid of that. But he made it personal. Do you know what I mean? Like you're kind of leaving that Rock concert thinking Rock Cody night one would have been fine. Like, do you know what I mean? Cody wins. Do you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't be. Do you know what I mean? Rock Cody's building pretty well. Like I don't know if we'll get a singles match. My thing is right. I think it's fairly obvious that the Bloodline will win night one. I think that's fairly obvious because I'm not advertising the Bloodline rules thing if I'm not going to do it. I think Roman Cody Night 2 could be so chaotic
That'd
that
be a lot of fun, but
it will be a lot of fun. But I think it will be like everybody will get involved. Like you wouldn't be surprised if Punk gets involved. Like
I would not be shocked if we had a glass shatter.
possibly. I mean, it could be. I mean, there'll be all that, and
Yeah.
I don't think. Do you see Seth? If Seth loses to Drew, for example, does he then come out later on to help Cody?
Probably. I
Even
think you're
though,
looking at. Well, you look at. I think at one point you'll have Roman, Rock, Solo, and Jimmy against Cody and three guys.
Mhm.
If I was to predict the three guys, it'd be Jay, Seth, and Austin.
Austin would be cool.
I think Austin would be phenomenal.
Austin would be
Like,
cool.
if it obviously if it was Vince, I think we're definitely getting an Austin pop. We might be slightly less likely because it's Triple H, but I do think we might see Austin. I also think we could have potentially, hopefully we don't, we could have potentially seen a Lesnar as well. I think Lesnar would have fitted well as one of sort of a bookmark on Roman's reign,
Mm-hmm.
pun intended. Because obviously Brock had the SummerSlam match, stuff at Paul. That feud lasted about a year.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't see Lesnar and never see him again. But I do think there's a lot of options for Team Cody, for example.
Yeah. What do you think? Right, we're kind of switching gears. We're going back to AEW for a wee bit here. Tony Khan is apparently mad with one of his employees about the aforementioned CM Punk. There's reports coming out of the Wrestling Observer that Tony Khan is still mad at Jack Perry for losing CM Punk, but he's still under the AEW contract, even though he's making appearances for New Japan. I think you know my opinion on Jack Perry. Get right, he's cost AEW the biggest box office star by being a wee kid.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised he's still there. Like,
See, I'm not, because I don't think you can sack him. I think I said this. I think you can sack Punk because Punk had two strikes.
yeah,
Punk had the stuff of the Elite, and he had all the stuff that went backstage at Collision as well.
yeah,
And the Wembley was just tip over the edge. He didn't sack the Elite, so I don't think he can sack Jack. He didn't sack the Elite after one offence, so I don't think he can sack Jack Perry after
I
one
think you should
offence.
just sack Jack Perry for being a wee dweeb.
Yeah, I think you should
Like,
sack Jack Perry. I still think he's very good.
no, he's not. He's not worth it. I said this to you like when you know I'm firmly in the Punk camp and the whole thing with the Elite. Like
Yeah.
I think no matter what, when you've got wrestlers that are EVPs, the wrestler I think is always right. In my opinion. I mean I might be wrong, but at least with the Bucks and Omega, they are so good in the ring that you have to keep them. You have to keep them around, and we see what the young. I mean, as much as I think the three of them are idiots, they're very, very good at what they do in the ring.
Yeah.
And you would want them in your business. That's not.
Oh my.
But Jack Perry, what the hell's Jack Perry done? I mean,
But I think well, this goes back to what I was saying. I think it's sort of you need to be equal across the roster. Like you didn't sack Punk after All Out 2022 because it was first offence,
mhm.
but he sacked him after All In because that was his second. And also, you had the stuff, you had the Christopher Daniels stuff at Collision. You had the other Jack Perry stuff at Collision. I think Matt Hardy was one as well. Like Punk was basically ruler over the roost. But that's down to Tony as well. Like
Yeah.
Tony gave Punk free reign on that show,
And
which was
he did that
never
though. He
going
did that
anywhere.
though to keep them out the road. There, keep them out the road of the Elite. That's what he did.
Yeah, but then you had like this. I mean, there was a dual taping, and you split them across. Then you had Elite one side of the arena and Punk on the other,
Yeah.
and then you had stuff at. Do you remember the Punk travel stuff at Wembley?
Yeah, that was
Like
that
Punk got
that,
to
that was
London.
that was shocking. By the way, like that
Yeah,
was horrendous.
Punk
Right.
got to London. I don't. As for the viewers who don't know the full story, Punk got to London, and there was no one met him. I think it was Heathrow he went to.
Yeah,
No one met him at Heathrow, so we got on the subway. No, not subway, the tube in London, and basically to ask fans How am I getting there?
But do you know
And
who
he phoned
runs?
a
Do you know
number.
do you know who runs the AEW travel? I don't know if they do now, but who did
Yeah,
at the time?
it's an elite fan.
Yeah, no, it's a Young Bucks school pal.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't know it was a school pal, but I remember the thing of like Punk got a phone number. They had the phone, and the number wasn't recognised, and stuff like that. Like that's your biggest star. You're treating like that. I mean, no wonder he was a bit pissed off at Wembley. 'Cause I'd be pissed off as well. And I think he eventually gave House of Black a phone, and House of Black picked him up.
yeah,
I
I
think
have
that
something
rings
like
a
that.
bell.
Yeah, it does ring a bell.
Aye, but yeah, I mean, like Punk needs to make his own travel in a city in one of the biggest cities in the world that he doesn't know, and he had to ask fans for direction.
Yeah,
Like it was all bubbling on the surface, and I'm not surprised at it. I mean, I remember it's one of those things everyone remembers where they were when CM Punk got sacked. I was sitting 2 yards from where I'm sitting right now, and I'm checking my phone. So AEW fired CM Punk, and I was a bit shocked at first, but the more I thought about it, I'm not shocked at all.
I'm not surprised either. But I think it's probably the best thing for Punk, and
It's the best thing for all parties.
it is, and the only thing that's going against Punk right now is this ridiculous thing that Booker T's come out. What is Booker T doing? Like, do you know what I mean? Just shut up. Do you know what I mean? You're a bad commentator. You're a legendary wrestler, one of the best African American wrestlers that we've seen. Just stop with the stupidness. Do you know what I mean? You and Punk didn't have a confrontation. We would have
Have
heard
you seen the
about it.
thing today? Have you
We,
seen his explanation of it today?
no.
He came in his pod and went, anything I say in this show's just for clickbait.
Yeah.
Basically what he said.
Oh, that tells you everything, and that's why I've got these issues with wrestlers doing these podcasts. They're not telling you the truth. Do you know what I mean? Kevin Nash came out a couple of weeks ago and said we weren't allowed at Sting's retirement match. And then the day before the Sting retirement match said we could go if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Just to get a few views. That's all it is. I mean, I could say on here that we're getting Undertaker on the pod next week. We're not. But if I said that and made it convincing, people would go, right, we'll check that out before we watch Undertaker.
Another one. What have you seen Vince Russo? I don't want to start the bloke. Vince Russo talk about Cody Rhodes.
Nah.
Have you seen it?
I don't really pay attention to Vince Russo. I think he's an idiot.
Vince Russo said, "Oh, I don't want my WWE champion to be crying on telly." Like, I mean, what has Vince Russo done? What has Vince Russo had one good idea in the last 25 years, and he's been folk still he killed a cut. He was part of killing one of the second biggest company in America at the time. He killed WCW with his crap creative, and ever since then he's a homophobe, he's a racist, he's a transphobe.
He's traded off 2 years where he was under total control by Vince McMahon.
Exactly.
He's traded off
There
that.
was one. He had one good idea, and I think what was it, Survivor Series, where it was the one night tournament.
Yeah,
The
Deadly
Rock.
Game. Yeah.
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 That's one good idea he's had in 25 years, and folks still think his name and his opinion holds any form of
Still
merit.
think it's hilarious that he tells everybody he was involved. He was responsible for Montreal. Nothing to do with him. Like he was.
It was
I would.
nothing to do. It
I
was
would be
Shawn
astonished.
Michaels, it
I
was
would be
Vince McMahon.
astonished if he even knew about that. Like, see
It
if
was Shawn Michaels, it was Vince McMahon, and it was El Hebner.
I think Jerry Briscoe and Triple H knew. I think they're the only two
Yeah.
that can claim they knew. Like JR
But,
didn't
like,
know. Bruce Pritchard didn't know. Like,
And Vince McMahon is more likely to tell Bruce Pritchard than he is going to tell Vince Russo.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I wouldn't take anything Vince Russo said. That's Vince Russo. Just remember some of the stuff Vince Russo was involved in. I mean, Judy Bagwell on a forklift. Did you watch Dark Side of the Ring? The Buff Bagwell one?
No.
Watch it. It's good. It's good. I would put out there that any Dark Side of the Ring is phenomenal. The first two of this series have been brilliant. The Earthquake one and the Buff Bagwell
I've not
one.
watched any in a while. I've only seen a few. I've seen the Owen Hart one.
Owen Hart one's brilliant. Brian Pillman one's good as well. That's probably my favourite.
The Chris Benoit one was very good, I thought.
It's hard. It's a hard watch, isn't it?
It's a hard watch,
Yeah.
but it's one thing I didn't know a lot of the details of it all. And it was quite interesting because I don't kind of read bits of it, but I wasn't sure full details, so it was quite good. and I watched the Plane Ride from Hell one.
That's a bad one.
Plane Ride from Hell one is the most mental thing I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one apparently I watched an interview with one of the producers, and there's one I'd never heard of this wrestler before, Chris Cole, I think his name is. Now, I think this one is meant to be the most mental one. Tell me you've seen the Marty Jannetty one, where he
I've seen
confesses
bits of
to a
it.
murder that he says was a storyline.
That bloke needs help, man. Honestly, has he not got? Did I not read something? He's got his leg amputated.
I think
or
he's
something
losing
like
his leg. Yeah, I think he's losing his leg. But
Aye.
yeah, I mean that's. But right. We do have a subject matter on hand today. We're going to this WrestleMania season, and I think WrestleMania season is all about how you build the presentation. And one thing, Scott, we can agree on, despite WWE in the past couple of months being brilliant at the camera work now is so good. Like, see, I don't know
that
if you've seen
one
the
tracking
angle.
shot for like 2.5 minutes.
Excellent.
Phenomenal.
See the drone footage coming in for the arena. Whoever come up with that's a genius. See, just even the 2K ratings and things like that. Just
Yeah.
we find things that have just been brilliant. But one thing WWE have always been good at is their video production. Like in terms of like video promos, DVDs, video like promo videos for events. They've always been good at that. And we thought in this episode we would take 5 each of our best WrestleMania video packages. Now, we've done these separately. We don't know what each other's got. I think we've got the same in a few, but in case of that, I've wrote a few down that we might miss. I know you've wrote 5, I've wrote 5, but we've got more there if we need to. Scott, how important is it at WrestleMania? And there's some brilliant non-WrestleMania ones, by the way. We'll maybe do a different show on later on. But how important is it that to have a good promo going into WrestleMania?
It's the thing that everyone looks forward to. I mean, when you hear some songs which we'll get into, you think of a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Like one of them best example, like it's well no, the Lions of Vince Creative was pretty bad. Majority of it was very bad. But somehow the editors took a story and made it clear, concise, and able to follow. Like the best one from recent years is Bianca Sasha. With all Reggie stuff, Carmella stuff, it was all pretty bad.
Yeah.
But if you watch the video package, no mention of Reggie, no mention of Carmella. All they speak about is these two black women become first two black women to main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And that's your story. And it's phenomenal. That was actually long listed for me. I shot that at 5, but that was one of them. The fact that it's not even that good a package, it's the fact they managed to make the storyline look concise when it was far from that for the majority of the SmackDowns leading up to it.
Right, Scott, we've got 5 each. What's your first one? What's an underrated one? Give us one that's maybe not top of the list, but you think's quite a good one.
For some reason, this one, when you think the worst WrestleMania main event, you probably think of this match.
I know the one you're going. I've got it in my list.
It's the Hate Me Now, John Cena versus The Miz.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Because when you go to that, you go to WrestleMania 27, The Miz is WWE champion, but he's the third most important person in that main event. So what WWE did, right? We know John Cena and Rock are make star, so we're gonna make The Miz look like the biggest heel in the history of wrestling. And this one, they've done it phenomenal by looking at everything he's done, the cash in and all, and they sort of build to him, and they made him look evil when it's The Miz, and he's not. But that video package was something special, man.
Do you remember that build? Everybody thinking, what the hell is the Miz doing in this? Right. And I had the strong belief, and this is something I wanted, like later on when we do like different series and things like that. I wanted to rebook the Nexus. That's one of the biggest missed opportunities for me in wrestling.
Yeah.
You could have carried Barrett and Cena to WrestleMania. That would have been a perfect, for me anyway, for me. I don't know if you agree. There's so many. Punk could have got the main event. Punk was raging, he didn't. But see, this video package justified why Miz was the perfect heel for this program, because it was about Cena Rock. It was about building for next year. But Miz is entitled to be there. Miz won Money in the Bank. He was a good heel, but still, he's a great heel. Let's be honest. See what he's doing now.
Yeah, I actually like his babyface run at the moment.
Yeah.
I think the Awesome Shoe stuff, like, I thought the Awesome Shoe stuff was good until this week, and I saw the entrance. Thought that's why I hate you too.
I would start a riot if they win the ladder match. I don't have a problem with them winning 1-on-1 if there's a story there. If they win the ladder match, nah.
I think you'll be starting a riot. Not gonna lie.
I think they will win. I don't want them to. I came away. I know we're changing subject a wee bit, but I came away from Monday night thinking the Creed brothers deserve that chance. They were brilliant. They're just, since they've been on the main roster, I know they were really, really good in NXT, but they are entitled to be one of the top tag teams. They probably will be going forward, but they deserve to be in the ladder match.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big DIY fan.
Yeah.
So I was rooting for DIY in that match because DIY NXT 2018 was prime wrestling for me.
Yeah. Yeah. But in terms of the Hate Me Now, perfect song, perfect promo, and it just worked, and it was on my list as well. It's totally on my list. I think it's and as you say, it's not a brilliant, it's not a good WrestleMania at all.
No, it's one of the worst.
And there's two things. There's two things from that event that make me gain a lot of respect for them. Is this promo and how he gets through the match after the concussion. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Remember
it's a pretty bad match, but still.
How you get through that, I don't know. It was
I hate watching it because you see his head go and you see his eyes roll back at points.
Yeah. Like it's horrible. It's horrible. Right, sticking with kind of events involving John Cena. I went for one that maybe not be on your radar. I don't know if you even remember this. WrestleMania 29. John Cena versus The Rock. Twice in a lifetime. Do you remember? Do you remember this?
I vaguely remember the package, and was that the one they blamed John Cena's divorce on him losing to The Rock?
Yeah. Yeah. The worst year of his life, and it was but I don't know if you remember. The song is called Civil Twilight Letters from the Sky. Get that on your playlist because this is a perfect song for that fit. Now, I think we can all agree that Rock Cena 2, we didn't really want it. Wasn't really.
No.
But
if anything, it should have been a triple threat. Punk should have
been a triple threat. But I always, like, when we're kind of doing things like this, I always go back to that promo. And at the time, I really liked the build to that match in terms of what they did with that. And it was all about, like, John Cena getting his win back, and it would just fit really well. And it's not going to be top for a lot of people, like, but in terms of just building the story, some of it was ridiculous. Like, as I say, about his divorce, like blaming like Ryback and things like that, like Ryback taking his spot, Hell in a Cell. There's just some ridiculous stuff in it. But in terms of a song fitting the build, probably one of my favourites. So I'll throw that in. Maybe one that wasn't on your radar, but that's one of mine.
I think I'll sort of follow up with something that might not be on your radar. And sort of similar, sort of echoing what you said about the song being perfect. It's Roman Cody from last year. Made for this.
What one was that?
It might not have been on your radar.
No, I don't remember.
But what happened, it was a Cody road. It was essentially detailing Cody's road, pun intended, from Mania 38 with the big return, the win against Seth, Fury and Seth, Tone Peck, and sort of his rehab between that and then going to the win the Rumble in the Roman match. And it's the song that makes it for me. It's talking about basically song it's called Made for This, and essentially it's about Cody and see what happened in 2015 he left.
Yeah.
Everyone thought he was done, but then obviously he was made for the main event of WrestleMania, and it's sort of detailing his journey in Roman, sort of talking about what have you done. The one where he chucks the belts on the floor, what have you a challenge for that one?
Yeah.
You ever won that? You have main event WrestleMania, and it's talking about how it actually would have been better if Cody won, but we know what happened there. But no, that song is one of my favourites. For if I'm at the gym or on a run or something, that's always a song I put on, and it's because of this video package. So that's kind of that one.
Yeah. I've got to be honest, it wasn't anywhere near my radar. I'll need to watch it back because I don't think I've watched it since last year's WrestleMania. I remember watching it.
No.
I remember.
Yeah.
Apparently, I've heard. I don't know if you've seen it. Apparently, this year's promo, they're building Cody to have a Rocky-like one, which I think could be brilliant.
Is Rocky the only film Triple H has watched?
I don't know. Probably.
It seems like it. Could you get us in as a Rocky? Could you get Chad Gable kind of being the Mickey in that story being the kind of coach role might be coming. You get Roman Cody as Rocky too. Triple H not watching any other films, no.
Yeah. Nah. I think though it could be good. I think we could be talking about this as one of because the next one I'm going to do is one from WrestleMania 35.
The triple threat.
Yeah.
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 That was that's not my list, but it was long listed from here.
Now, I'm going to say something here that might be controversial. The build to that match isn't good.
No.
It's chaotic, in all honesty. Like, there's way too much.
The police car stuff was fun, but
the police car stuff was fun.
Charlotte's knee. Was it Ronda? Ronda sticking out a motor and Charlotte knee in the head.
Yeah. Yeah. But Vince just getting rid of Becky and bringing in Charlotte just because, like...
It's not too dissimilar to Mania 30.
Nah, it's not.
When you think of it.
It's not. Remember, was that the same? That was the same year as Kofi, wasn't it? Because he did the same. He just brought,
yes.
Right, we'll bring Kevin Owens in just to main event No Way Out. I think it was No Way Out.
Fastlane.
Fastlane.
No Way Out. You're showing your age there, Scott.
I thought it was not.
No Way Out's not been about for years.
I thought it was No Way Out. I thought.
Nah,
it's that roughly that time. But yeah, in terms of like one thing it does really well, the song again is good. The White Flag, I think it's White Flags, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. One thing it does is, and it's very hard to do this, it makes Ronda Rousey a good promo.
Yeah, that makes it one of the best packages of all time.
Yeah, because it's not easy to do that. It's not that was very, very difficult. I think this is one of the most underrated promos of all time because it, in this 4-minute video, does a better job of building the main event than what the whole program did because it was just chaotic at times. Like it was, we didn't need. I still don't think we needed both belts. Like I know it was
that was the most random bit for me.
No,
where Charlotte's just in the ring saying, "I'm gonna have a match," and Asuka comes out, and then they announce goes this match for this. But the commentators were shocked. There was no graphic. There was no promo. It was. We found it was a tag match for the ring announcer. No, we found it was a title match from the ring announcer. Saying, this match for the SmackDown title, and we're like, what? And then Charlotte won it. Was what's going on there?
And in terms of what a video package should be, it did its job. I thought it was very, very good. And again, I think we'll look back. I think it's maybe too early to say, like, it's only been 5 years in fairness since that match.
Yeah.
I think we'll look back at that as maybe one of the biggest missed opportunities because it could have been. I mean, it did wonders for Becky. Don't get me wrong, but it was just it should have been so much better than what it was, and I think this video package saved it for me. The finish wasn't planned. It couldn't have been.
No, you had 3 submission specialists. You've got armbar, figure 8, and it finished with a botched crucifix pin. Like, Ronda's leaving. Ronda's away for about... How long's she away for? 3 years?
Yeah, read about that.
About 3, 4... 4 years.
3 years, yeah.
3 years she was away. Just have her tap out. She's leaving. You remember she was leaving for a good bit before that. So just have her tap out.
Why did they not have Charlotte take the pin?
I think Ronda taking the pin was the best idea because Ronda was leaving.
I would have got why they wouldn't have. They would have because they would have still protected Ronda, and they would have she could have come back. She was leaving, but again, there was a better way to do it than what they did. They didn't have to have a pin with a botched crucifix.
I would have had a tap out.
Yeah, they could have done that as well. I mean, if Ronda was taking the fall, but Charlotte, to me, that's always why I thought Charlotte was in there. I'm like, right, they're going to protect Ronda. She probably will be leaving, but they'll keep Ronda fairly protected, so she can come back and say, "You didn't pin me. I didn't lose this."
Yeah,
and that gives you Ronda Becky. down the line,
which somehow we didn't get.
we didn't get. I don't think we'll ever get it. But
No, because I don't want Ronda back.
I don't want Ronda back. I don't think. I think she's going to run a race in terms of that. But that's 2 each, right? I think I think we're fairly. I'm fairly certain we'll have the next 3.
Yeah, well, I've ranked them 1 to 5, like 5th
Right.
to my third best one of all time. I said to you, I don't think you'll like my numbering order in my list. Said this to you on text before. I've put My Way third.
So
Oh, I thought you would have had My Way one.
no, so bad. And I've got a reason as to why.
I've got a reason as well. I think we might have the same reason.
Yeah, probably.
Debra's in it a full minute, but it's Debra.
Yeah. Take Debra out of that, and it's number 1.
Yeah, but for some reason, Debra's a minute of it. Like the bit where they are sort of get My Way building to the chorus,
Yeah.
and they're having a beer, and then it's sort of they erupt in a fight as My Way. It's probably the single best bit of editing in these.
Yeah. And that's what does it for me. That's what.
Yeah, but Debra, man, I thought that's what I was saying. You'd be pissed at me because I thought you'd have My Way one.
I'm really not, because that was what I was. That's what kills it for me. And it's not. Yeah. It's still so. I mean, My Way still. That event is still the best WrestleMania. It's the best WrestleMania. It's the best wrestling event of all time. And I'll go. Yeah. I'll go to the well with that. That it's the best, most put together show of all time. A week after Vince has bought WCW. Like, let's not, like, that could have been a distraction in that whole show. If Triple H says tomorrow we're buying AEW, WrestleMania in 2 weeks is not the same.
No,
they do a phenomenal job. It's probably, but it's dominated. Like, that dominates the news, if that makes sense.
Well,
that still works.
Last year, the day after Mania 32, we're merging with the UFC. Yeah. Or Mania 39, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And
even though I think Mania 39, you said Mania 7 is the best Mania of all time.
Yeah.
I genuinely think last year's pushing it.
Last year's is very, very good. Still just about makes top 5 for me. And I think that's probably something we could do next week. We could do maybe ranking. We could rank after WrestleMania next week.
I think 39's top 3 for me.
I don't know if it's top. I don't know if it's top 3. It's probably top 5, because I love WrestleMania 20. Like, WrestleMania 20 is my first real staying up WrestleMania. That's still one of my favourites.
I get why, but it's a difficult one to watch.
It's not, and
the ending's very difficult one to watch.
I don't think so. Because
I think me and you spoke this before. I can't watch a Benoit match back.
I can. And I know, and I get why people can't, but I just think I don't really pay attention to Chris at that point. I pay attention to Eddie.
Yeah, but it's the fact that Chris won the main event.
But one thing that will always go underrated, and I've got the DVD actually. I bought a WrestleMania 20 DVD like 10 years ago, and it says on it
39 DVD because it was on sale with Morrison's. It was like £6. I thought that was
Yeah, there's a WrestleMania 20 DVD I bought like maybe 10 years ago, and it doesn't have on it Benoit. It just has Triple Threat World Champ. No, I think it just says World Heavyweight. It'll be there somewhere. World Heavyweight Championship match. It doesn't have any mention of Benoit, but the whole event is brilliant. And
see, if you go in the network and look and type in Chris Benoit, nothing comes up.
Yeah, no, and they can't publicise. No, they can't, and that's why, like, we're mentioning Dark Side of the Ring, and I think Chris Benoit's son is probably one of the most unfortunate people in the world, because he adores his dad. Like, he worships his dad.
Van Vliet interview?
Yeah, it's one of the best interviews.
It's a difficult watch, but
it's tough to watch, but it's one of the best interviews he ever done.
Aye,
like,
definitely.
But the one conclusion I have from that is that he adores his dad, and he wants to be his dad, and he wants to be like him. He doesn't want to see him forgotten, but he can't publicise him. No. Like, he's just he ruined it. He ruined his legacy.
He was a front row at Collision.
Yeah,
remember this?
Yeah,
and there was actually murmurings. He was Jay wrestler, and he actually wanted. I don't remember this. He wanted to go under the name Chris Benoit Jr.
Yeah,
but no indie show's going to book Chris Benoit Jr. on a month or
No.
Sundays.
Indie shows would have, just for the name value. They would have said, "Oh, this is Chris Benoit's son."
But he's not
AEW.
going to get. He's not going to get AEW, TNA,
No,
WWE.
he can't.
No.
He can't. He can't. And do you remember a few years ago, Kurt Angle was talking a lot about like favorite opponents and
Said Benoit.
yeah, and you get it, but you're also thinking, Kurt, you shouldn't be doing that. You
No.
can't.
Do you remember Kevin Owens did something similar?
Yeah.
Kevin Owens did a presser, and they were like, "Oh, who'd you look at growing up?" And everyone else said the Canadians, Bret Hart, and he named Chris Benoit, and then he said, "I don't know if I can say his name."
Yeah.
But like, surely you should think maybe you shouldn't say him.
Yeah. No, and it's so hard because I do think Paul Heyman kind of nails it brilliantly. He
Oh,
says,
that's very. I watched that again. That's
as
phenomenal.
a performer, he was one of the best, but you can't publicize,
No.
you can't promote him. That's why any chat of a Hall of Fame, he's never going into a Hall of Fame.
No.
Let's be honest.
I
And
don't.
that's
think
one of Dave
that's-
Meltzer's
no.
biggest mistake. He allowed people to vote to keep him in. He should have just got rid of him there and then. That's
Yeah.
That's one of Dave Meltzer's biggest mistakes in wrestling. He allowed that. He should have just said, right, this guy's gone. He cannot be on a poll. Vince should be in the same boat, by the way.
But
Not the same. It's not the same. You know what I mean? Though Vince has tarnished wrestling as well recently. He should be in the same. He shouldn't get. He should be out of a Hall of Fame. Shouldn't be anywhere near a Hall of Fame anymore.
no.
But in terms of that WrestleMania for me, and I get why people would feel that it tarnishes the show. Still one of the best WrestleManias.
I'm
I mean,
putting 30 as. I think we'll do it next week. The 30's up there for me.
yeah, yeah. I think there's a run. I think there's a run of four. I think 31's up there as well. By the way, for a match that
31 very underrated.
for an event that had a horrendous build, it was one of the best manias, and it delivered so well.
25 was my first. At first, I thought one of the best things ever. Looking back, one match show. 26 was actually alright.
That was Taker Michaels. Yeah, we'll get into that.
Taker's Michaels.
Yeah.
Batista Cena was fun as well. That stuff like that. And then
Remember Brett-
27, 28, and 29 were all bad.
Brett
None of them
Vince.
were good.
28's not
God.
bad.
It's the best of those three, but it's still
Yeah.
not great.
Yeah, 29's not great.
27, 28, 29 are great. 30 was good. 30 was great. 31 was great. 32, I'm
Terrible.
convinced, horrendous. 33 was actually alright.
Yeah, I like 33. 34,
Hardly-
34 was
34 was bad.
terrible. Like 35.
fucking
What
Braun
killed them was they were too long.
35, I'm convinced, is still going on
Yeah.
right now.
It's way too long, and that killed DC.
36. 36 is a difficult one, isn't it?
I don't think you can rank that.
No.
I think that's in its own bubble.
Yeah, that's just there somewhere.
And then the three after that have been pretty good.
Yeah, 37 was good. 37 was okay. I think 37 was the worst of the three
Yeah.
because fans were back, they didn't really know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. 38's fine. I think the main event kills it.
Yeah, it was not a good main event.
No.
Charlotte Ronda was bad as well.
Yeah. And 39. Last year's was very good.
39 was phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. That's our show for next week. Right, we get two more. My Way's number 3. What you got
I
number
think
2?
we've got the same.
I think we'll the same number 2, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if we've got the same number 2. I think we've got the same top 2. I've got Monster second.
Oh, I've got running up that hill second.
Oh, I've got Run of the Hill first.
Oh, we've got the top 2. Right, let's start with right, you've got Monster 2.
I've got Monster second.
Right.
The reason I put it was different. I think the reason I put Monster second, you could very easily split them.
It's a coin toss. It is.
Yeah. I think the reason I put Running Up the Hill first is I think Shawn Michaels put one of the best acting performances from a wrestler I've ever seen.
Yes. That's it for me.
The
That's it.
Rumble, the Chamber, the promo. Was it Triple H went to him? Triple H said, "You're throwing your whole career away." And if Michael said, "I don't win this match, I don't have a career." The Rumble with super kicking refs.
Super
think it
kicks
run it out.
Super kicks Teddy Long.
Yeah. Just I speak about monsters first. I mean that it's somehow obviously we all know it wasn't the plan, but I think I've said this before. I don't care what the plan was. I just care what happened.
Yeah.
And I think the way they managed to spin it, and so it looked like it was the plan, is again just testament to the editing team.
Yeah, that's it as well. There's two things that stand out to me with this video. I'm a huge Imagine Dragons fan. Like, Imagine Dragons are probably the best band for me in the world. There's two things that stand out to me with this, right? The video, when they're building towards the I'm only a man point, you see the video of the Yes movement coming in. Remember the night in Raw where he accepts the challenge?
all
You've
invade the
got
ring.
about 1 billion people in the ring.
Aye.
That's so well done. That's the one bit that stands out. And I love the start of it as well, where we see Daniel Bryan, NXT Daniel Bryan, who gets fired, comes back in,
Yeah, get fired for choking the tie.
and is kind of lost in the shuffle for a couple of years, and then it's just this organic baby face. And you couldn't. We know it wasn't the plan, and I would love to know what the official plan for WrestleMania 30 was. I think that is probably one of the most intriguing.
I think I heard the original plan was Sheamus Daniel Bryan too.
Yeah, it was.
That's
It
what
was. I
Sheamus
would love
said it
to know.
was.
I would love to know what the whole structure of that show was, because I don't think any of it linked. I think Undertaker Brock was part of the plan at all until
I
they had to
think
change
I
it.
think Taker Lesnar was third. I think the original plan, like from what I sort of gathered from various reports, the original plan was Batista Brock, Cena Taker,
Mhm.
Bryan Sheamus.
Yeah, probably
That was your original
Punk
card.
Triple H was obviously going to be there as well.
Yeah, Punk Triple H. I think Punk leaving messed up the entire card.
Yeah, no, I doubtfully did. But if Punk doesn't leave, we don't get this.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I
think you
love.
could put this whole thing back to the pipe bomb.
Yeah, probably.
Like the pipe bomb doesn't happen, then you're looking at. I don't think we get a Daniel Bryan. I don't think we get a Zack Ryder. I don't think we get an AEW.
No, probably not. I don't think. I don't. You've been on that hill for a while though. If we don't get the pipe bomb, we don't get EW. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think the pipe bomb put a full look on every wrestling
That
promotion.
inspired a
Yeah.
generation. Like, we can beat him. We can.
Because I was 11, I was 10 or 11 when I watched that pipe bomb, and I remember thinking, "What on earth's Ring of Honor? What on earth's New Japan?" And then I had a quick Google search and found what they were. Found all this wrestling outside WWE. I'd briefly had a TNA, but I wasn't 100% sure. And I discovered wrestling outside, because I was 10 year old. I discovered wrestling outside WWE through the pipe bomb,
Mhm.
and I don't think I'd have been the only one.
No, I think it's fair enough. Right, Monsters number 2. Right, running up that hill. Right, I've got a couple of things about this. Do you know that this wasn't on WrestleMania?
It was the Raw before.
It was the Raw before.
Just go home show.
Now, running up that hill has been number 1 in the charts last year. This is a better version of running up that hill than Kate Bush.
Definitely.
I am going to say that.
Oh, I've
This
said
is
this. Is it placebo?
placebo, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
amazing. It's amazing. And what's, as you mentioned, one thing that I think goes underrated is Shawn Michaels' acting as a whole. Now, we talk
Phenomenal.
about his in-ring skills. His acting here is phenomenal, and it was the whole build. Carried it. And
From the slammies onwards.
go back to that Elimination Chamber where he's under the ring and he super kicks him just as that main bit of the song comes out.
And it's small things like he helped Jericho win.
Yeah.
2 years ago, Jericho punched his wife in the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Small things like that. And he done it. It's the sort of, obviously, I done media when I was at school, so I look at the symbolism and things like that. It shows me that the way they structured that, they showed me they would have done anything, or Michaels would have anything to get this Taker match.
Mm-hmm.
Head under the ring, won the Rumble, done anything. It helped his biggest rival win. Super kick he eliminated Triple H from that Rumble, didn't he?
Yeah. Because it's Survivor.
Eliminated his best friend.
The kind of build starts at Survivor Series because he kicks
Yeah.
Triple H at the start.
That's a
And then-
phenomenal one. That I love that. That's the Cena triple threat.
Yeah. And Taker, I'm pretty sure Taker defends against Jericho and Big Show. And that.
No,
I'm sure it is.
yeah.
I'm sure he does that.
Yeah, it is because Taker and Cena were up against a tag team each in a triple threat. I remember
That's
that.
right, yeah. But right, running up that hill is and it's a perfect way to end Shawn Michaels' career. I've got a few that I want to discuss that aren't in top 5, but I think deserve a mention. You ready for these?
Yeah.
Right, we mentioned this off here. WrestleMania 14, I think, is the first promo. I think that launches
That's
this.
the first main one.
Go and watch it back. It's not brilliantly edited, but there's
I've watched it.
music.
I was watching a bunch of video packages for this year. It's the classical music that does it.
Yeah,
But the
music.
editing's a bit clunky. It's not really smooth. But no, I mean, Taker and Kane never had a good match ever. None of them were good.
The build to that WrestleMania, that shouldn't. That we'll talk about Vince Russo. Vince Russo wanted that match 2 weeks after Kane debuted. He didn't want it. He said it wouldn't go. It couldn't go that long. It couldn't go to.
Of course he did.
Worked brilliantly. And right, Mania 14, one that I think is quite underrated. That I'm surprised you didn't mention. I thought you'd been into this. Cena Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 30. The legacy.
That was long for me.
That shouldn't work. It shouldn't have worked.
No.
Eminem should not. It shouldn't
Eminem
have
should not do a Bray Wyatt show.
No, but there's wee like some of the lines for Bray Wyatt in that program were brilliant, like the thoroughbred horses thing, and like I'm gonna destroy your legacy and Cena. Looking back now, Bray probably needed that win. But
I said that at the time.
And he did need that win. But the promo, you probably couldn't have had him lose based on what the whole thing was about. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So
I was just thinking, do you think the Firefly Funhouse match counts a video package?
Yeah, possibly.
It's more of a video package than a match, let's be honest.
Yeah. But again, you don't get that if you don't get this.
Yeah.
You don't like, do you know what I mean? Like that adds to I would love to get your thoughts on this because I have had this kind of wee, like obviously the Bray documentary's due out and I think we'll see a lot on there that we probably didn't know about Bray Wyatt, in fairness.
Because he's a very secretive character.
I think this version of Bray Wyatt is very, very underrated.
I'm a big sort of cult leaders fan.
Yeah.
But also
I think it kind of goes down the tubes after this. Like when he debuted up until like the stuff with Daniel Bryan's very, very good. The stuff here is very, very good up until, do you remember the whole kids round about the ring and things like that? And some of it went kind of ridiculous.
The steel cage match with the kids.
Yeah.
We're seeing as about go at the door.
Yeah.
And the sort of Wyatt family thing, the animation comes on. And it's a kid singing, you've got the hole in his hands, sort of in a deep voice.
Yeah.
Weird child magic lost Cena match.
Yeah. And then you look at going after that, like the Taker stuff's fine. The stuff he does with Matt Hardy, I think, is ridiculous. Like, no disrespect, but it just didn't work. And the Randy Orton stuff was fine at the start, but it went a bit down the toilet as well. But
I think it was all good until the Mania match. I thought Orton the family was weird because Randy Orton. He'd been around for 15 years by that point.
Yeah.
But I thought Orton played the role well. The Mania match was bad with the PowerPoint presentation. The House of Horrors match was hilariously bad.
Yeah.
It's one of the funniest things I've watched in wrestling.
I'll give you that and I'll raise you the swamp fight. Which was Bray and Strowman.
The House of Horrors match was they were both bad, but the House of Horrors match was funny bad.
Do you know what was bad? Do you know what was terrible about that as well? Randy's doing that, and then I think it's the week after he faces Jinder. These two things going on at the same time.
Jinder cost him the match.
Yeah.
Jinder pops out and hit. Did he not steal the belt by that point?
I don't know. I can't remember. I remember I've kind of
He stole the
eliminated that
belt.
whole
Remember he
period.
stole the belt because I think of him sticking at the top of sunroof in Alamo, holding the belt when he hadn't won it.
I love things like that. Like, it's so funny. Right. A couple more that I want to mention, both from WrestleMania 33. I think looking at Triple H Seth Rollins with Metallica, Am I Savage? I don't know if you remember that. Very, very good. And
Yeah.
love that. Love that story. Take a Roman from that. I don't know if you remember that.
No, it's not ringing a bell.
I'm pretty sure it's definitely the run on cover. I don't know who does the cover. It's the Johnny Cash run on for a long time. That's a really good build. Now I am going to say something extremely controversial here, just as we wrap up. See, knowing Roman as we know now, this could have ended the streak. See if this was built as a streak ender,
Yeah.
would have been perfect.
I've always said the person to end the streak. I think I might have said this on this. John Cena.
It was the only two that I would have done it with are John Cena and Roman Reigns.
I think I think if you look at John Cena heel turn back in 2014, 2015, 9 times out of 10 it would have been cheered. Because it's John Cena turn heel. Smart fans wanted him to turn heel. The only way to turn John Cena heel and get most heat is if he cheats to beat the streak.
Yeah.
Like ref bump, gets a chair, hits take a chair, A 1, 2, 3, and then Cena smiles at the end. See, the thing that would cement the heel turn for me, Cena cheats and then smiles at the end of it.
See what gets me with that, right? See when Cena was talking, I don't know if you've seen his interview with Chris Van Vliet, he was talking about turning heel in the first, I think it was the first match with The Rock. How would that have worked? How would they have done that? How would they have turned John Cena heel? And I think there's a way to do it, and we'll probably get into that later on, like maybe later on in the series, because I think it's something that could be rebooked.
Yeah.
I don't think Rock would have been the right guy. I think this is the only way to do it. I think, like, I don't see another way to do it. Maybe Punk, maybe turning in Punk. Like, see how Punk turned in Rock at Raw 1000? Maybe how they would have done it. But I don't really see how, because that was bigger than anything at the point. The streak was always like the big thing.
Like
John
beating
Cena
the streak
turns,
was better than winning any title.
Yeah, at that point, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it would have been a bigger way to do it. And as you say, if he'd retired The Undertaker as well. Like,
I mean, the squash match was fun because it looked like old school Taker.
have you seen what Taker says about that?
I hated it because it was maybe 20 minutes.
It was maybe 20 minutes, and he went in that day and they said, no, it's going to be 2 minutes. Imagine that, though. Imagine Taker.
I can see why, but
I can see why, but I can also
because
see
the Roman match wasn't good. The Shane match wasn't good.
Did they do anything between then and May? I don't think he did. I don't think we've seen him between then and the Mania 33, Mania 34.
Did he not face Rusev?
Was that not after?
Trying to think of timelines.
Because he was meant to. I'm pretty sure. Well, that's definitely Greatest Royal Rumble's definitely after that Mania, because that's Brock Roman and where Brock wins.
Yeah, that's after Mania 34.
Because that was meant to be. I'm pretty sure that was maybe Taker, Chris Jericho, and they changed it to Rusev.
It was maybe Taker Rusev, then Taker Jericho, then changed it back.
Yeah, and then
He changed it a couple of times.
Then they did Taker Roman against Shane and Drew. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was strange.
That
was
strange.
after Goldberg.
Was it?
Yeah, that was after Goldberg because the way they wanted, because Taker Goldberg was that bad, they wanted to. They gave Goldberg and they gave Taker both a match to make up for it.
I thought Taker Goldberg
had the Ziggler stuff.
Was the year after.
Goldberg had the Ziggler stuff.
Yeah,
and
that was
Taker had the tag match.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm on his cage match now because I can't remember the.
I'm gonna say Taker Goldberg was 2019.
He had. No, I was right. So he had Mania 33, Roman, and then he didn't wrestle to Mania 34.
Yeah.
So he had a year off, and then he had the Rusev match.
Mhm.
Then he faced Triple H at Super Showdown.
Yeah, and then you've got Crown Jewel. That's right.
Then he got Crown Jewel. Then it was Goldberg, and
When
then it was the
when
tag.
was Goldberg?
Goldberg was after Crown Jewel.
Was that Super
In
Showdown?
November 2018, Crown Jewel was DX Brother
Yeah,
Destruction.
that's right.
Jesus, that went half an hour. Man alive.
Yeah.
And then then in June, so that's about 8 months later,
Yeah.
had the Goldberg match. And then a month after that, it was Roman and Taker v Drew and Shane.
Yeah, that's right.
And then it was do you remember the Gauntlet match? We just turned up and won.
Was that again? Remember, was that building
That was the AJ one.
That was building AJ, yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Undertaker defeats AJ Styles, Andrade, Lashley, Rowan, and R-Truth.
Do you remember the World Cup that Shane won?
Shane McMahon's the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah, God.
That's not even the worst part about that. It's the fact you had Rey Mysterio, you had Kurt Angle, you had all these people. You had like Seth Rollins was in it. And the final was Miz Dolph Ziggler.
That was the Jamal Khashoggi. That was the year everybody
Yeah, that
refused
was
to
the
go.
really bad. Because I remember the Greatest Royal Rumble, everyone went, no, why they in Saudi? That was, Saudi. But then the Khashoggi stuff happened and everyone,
Yeah.
actually, what are you doing?
Yeah. Seen him been back there.
Because
I've seen him been back there since. Yeah, he did Solo, of
Yeah,
course.
he faced Solo.
Yeah,
Aye.
but he's not. That was his first time back there since then.
Yeah.
Like, that was quite
That's
bizarre.
why I don't think we're getting The Rock. Everyone talk about The Rock doing Saudi. I can't see The Rock doing
No.
Saudi.
I think the fact that he's been advertised for SummerSlam tells me we're either getting one or two things, and we'll probably wrap up in this point. I think we're either getting Roman Rock at SummerSlam, or we're getting Roman Cody 3, because I think Cody will win at Mania, and he should win, but I think it's going to be so chaotic that it won't be clean, if that makes sense. Like, he'll win the title, it'll be the big event. Fair enough, I'm absolutely fine with that. But I think he needs to beat Roman, just Roman Cody. That needs to be the end to this story. Needs to be Cody beating Roman clean with no one, because bloodline rules will mean everybody. I mean, there'll be Samoan belly dancers that'll be involved in this thing. Like, there'll be the world. Yeah, so I think saying he's going to be near WrestleMania. He's going to be referee. He's going.
I can see. Yeah, no, it'd be really funny if it was referee Jimmy J.
Yeah, well, no, he'll be referee for Jimmy J. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Aye,
he'll be. Solo's not got a match. Solo's 0 for 18 this year.
that's wild.
Yeah, he could be like. I was very much getting into Rumble thinking Solo Orton could be the way to go here.
That's what I think we said that in our prediction video.
Yeah,
He was the card,
and he's not even been. I mean, he's just technically a background guy now. Like,
yeah, he squashed John Cena.
Yeah, like, what are they doing with him? But on that note, Scott, we're going to wrap up the show. Next week, we're going to do a WrestleMania ranking video as we get closer to the granddaddy of them all. Mate, always a pleasure. Thoroughly enjoyed that. It's good to go back and look at WrestleMania video packages, but I've thoroughly enjoyed that, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, mate, as you said, love a video package is my favourite thing about wrestling.
Yeah.
One of them.
Definitely.
And ranking is great.
Yeah. Thanks very much, folks. We'll be back next week for a new episode. Thank you.